It's the November show for Cousins Cooling and Heating. I'm Dave Scott, and I'm with Craig, the owner. And Craig, how are you?
Good. Yourself, Dave?
Good. I got to ask a quick update on how things are going with the helping out the women's shelter. I know you guys are up to. You just gave me a number, and I don't want to say it out loud, but it's you guys are growing the funds exponentially. So what's going on there? How are things going with that fundraiser?
Things are going really good, and we're very excited about it. Thanks. So far, even though last week was a short week, we're able to squeeze in a double install. So we've got five confirmed installs done already in a 4-day week for them. So that's around $250 to start for week one. We're looking forward to the 3 more weeks to go, and yeah, we'll see where we're at when we're done. But so far, we're on track to our goal.
It's great to help the women's shelter. We talked about this last month, and keep going, guys. Keep going. You guys, I know you guys are going to bring that number up considerably. So, folks, if you need Craig to come and help put in a new furnace, give him a call because it's going to help out the shelter. We appreciate that all the way around. Last month, you started to talk about, and I stopped you about heat pumps, and I want to get into that today because I didn't realize about all the government grant, the Green Homes grant. Can you explain that to folks?
Yeah, so there's a program on right now where the incentive is to switch your air conditioner to a heat pump. This is very vague, but it's basically an air conditioner that just has a reversing valve, so it'll offer you heating and cooling. There's many different styles, but there's different styles to fit whatever household needs. And the government currently right now is offering $5,000 rebates if you're on oil or propane. If you're already on natural gas, you can get up to $6,500 back. That's a real nice incentive to do that. You do not have to replace your existing furnace to qualify. That was a big question at the get-go. You do require to have a home energy audit, but again, we help you with that, and we try and streamline everything as simple as possible.
Wow, so it's really making more than one thing efficient. I didn't realize that. So it's a multiple layer thing here. Are heat pumps expensive, I guess?
They are as compared to an air conditioner, yes. But with the rebate money that's back now, if you are in the market for a new furnace and air conditioner, as an example, it is currently cheaper to buy a furnace and a heat pump than it is to buy a furnace and an air, because by the time you get your grant money back, you're much further ahead, and you have a top tier system with a full 10-year parts and labor warranty.
That was one of my
So
questions.
it's a very aggressive program, and I really like what the government has done in a sense of the home energy audit. When the program was around 14 years ago, they were in and out of the house pretty quickly. Nowadays, it's about an hour and a half audit, and they give you a full biopsy on your home, so you as the homeowner know the lows and the highs of your home, so you invest your money wisely. Um,
What goes in an audit? I'm kind of curious now.
They check anything that is energy related. So, for example, when they did my home, I found out that my windows were 10 times worse than I thought, but I found out that the attic insulation was 10 times better than I thought. So that really helped me to understand, okay, and it also allowed me to take some funding I had, started to put aside for possible attic insulation. Said, well, we'll just put that right in the windows because I don't need to touch it. But it has to do with anything energy efficient: windows, doors, insulation, attic insulation, wall insulation, uh, many different factors. Air leakage.
Okay.
They check. They're in your home for roughly an hour and a half to 2 hours doing this full audit. So it's very worthwhile, as opposed to the previous program that was good, but they were in and out of your house in 20 minutes to a half hour. So it was more of a going through the process. This is a real educational eye opener for a lot of homeowners.
Do you pay for the audit, I guess?
You do pay for the audit,
Okay.
but the government, on top of the rebates that I have already stated, you get an additional $600 to help cover the cost of the audit.
Wow. See, I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
And
so for
that's
six,
such a valuable tool.
right, so
Like,
$6,500 you get with a heat pump. By the time you're done, you get 7,100 back to help cover the cost of the audit as well.
and I think there's this confusion when you use the word audit, but folks, it's there to help you. Like they're
Correct.
not going to come in and say, this is wrong. You got to fix this right now. They're coming in and saying, here's some ideas that might make your house more efficient.
Absolutely, and that's exactly why they're being so thorough this time. And again, the idea is to leave this with you and say, hey, you know what? You're looking at doing a heat pump right now. That's great. Get the grant money, but down the road, if you're thinking of doing anything, here's what your home is telling us right now, so that you invest the money wisely. into your own home, so you don't spend money on things that your home doesn't necessarily need.
And if you don't know, you don't know, right?
Exactly.
This is an educational process. What is the advantages and disadvantages of a heat pump?
The advantages of a heat pump is that it reduces your fossil fuel footprint while maintaining and giving you consistent heat in the home and making your home comfortable. Um, the disadvantage, really, there's only it's not even a real disadvantage. Just when the heat comes out of the register, it feels warm, not as hot, because we're not actually combusting a fuel.
Ah, yeah.
So to somebody that's used to nothing but burning a combustion, when you first feel it, it feels cool, but the temperature will maintain in the home.
Yeah, it's more consistent.
Yeah, and the heat pump allows you to have air conditioning as well as heating. So it gives you both, and then the furnace is still there. A lot of people think, oh, I get a heat pump, I don't get a furnace. No, you still have a furnace, and it's what they call an auxiliary backup. So if it gets too cold outside and the heat pump will still work, but it's not efficient, it'll just switch on its own right to the furnace, and it'll just use that.
Yeah,
So
it's.
whatever is the most efficient is which way it's going to swing.
Do heat pumps need a lot of service? Like, is this a yearly thing where you got to come in and check them, or once they're going, they're going?
No, they do require annual service, and it's not so much for the unit itself. It's for all warranty purposes. Just like when you get a car, when you buy that car, if you don't change the oil every 5,000 kilometers and you take it back 2 years later, they're not going to give you a brand new motor, right? So, in that car, well, it's the same with HVAC equipment now. All North American products actually state right in the manual that annual maintenance is required to validate the warranty. Um, to make these units more efficient, there is more key components, digital control, things of that nature, which are incredible. But as soon as we hear digital, there is a cost associated, and they will warranty those parts as long as it has been maintained.
Perfect. So, and that's a great follow up because then you guys are constantly in touch with that client. You're taking care of it for them, which
Well,
is that's what
yep,
you want.
absolutely. And we also have programs, for as little as $9 a month. We have a program through a maintenance plan, and it gives you, a bunch of extras through us, as well as it gives you all documentation required to validate any warranty for the 10 years of your equipment.
So is the heat pump life, sorry, 10 years? Like how long should you expect them to work?
Statistically, it's 17 years. So, 20 is not uncommon. But statistically, furnaces, heat pumps, or air conditioners in today's world, anything that meets the new manufacturer's mandates for efficiencies, is 17 years. So it should long outlast the warranties.
You've been doing these heat pumps a few years now, well, for a while now, but is there any, can you share a story there where you saw a big difference where it really helped folks?
Yeah, the where we see it, I've actually got multiple stories, but the big ones is these units are designed to run low and slow now. So the analogy they use is currently your older style furnace and heat pumps. Picture this as your car. When you get in, you turn on your car. When you go to drive anywhere, you put your foot right to the floor. That's what your heat pump and your furnace do. These new units, if you drive that car 50 kilometers an hour everywhere you go, it's going to last a lot longer and you're going to have a much higher life expectancy out of it. That's in theory behind these units. So by running low and slow, one, they're more efficient, but two, we've been able to maintain people's comfort a lot better because one, by continuously running low and slow, we can better control humidity in the house, which is becoming a bigger issue. And two, we can also add humidity if that's the issue. But three, also, we can filter air more in the house. So we can really make your house as comfortable and as safe for whatever you and your family's needs are.
Perfect. So if folks want to get in touch with you about these heat pumps, can you provide them with that insight? Do you guys do that? Like,
Absolutely, we do. I typically, what we'll do is I'll come out, I'll review the home, I give the homeowner a quote. If they like what we see from our numbers, before we put the cart before the horse, I help you set up the home energy audit and get in contact with the auditor. We have that done before I proceed with any of my customers, just to make sure that everything is valid. You fully qualify. Not that there's any reason why people wouldn't, but that's not for me to say. And then once your audit is done, then we proceed. So we really try and help the whole process be as seamless as possible for the customer.
Can you give us a website and phone number?
Absolutely. It's Causyn.ca, 509-428-3241. You got Deb and Terry that are always here, happy to schedule anything, and they have full access to mine as well as all my technicians' calendars to set up for any of your comforts and your needs.
Hey, thanks for doing this. We'll talk again next month, eh?
Look forward to it. Thank you as always, Dave.